Hello my friends, it is currently Sunday, the Sunday after Thanksgiving in the Americas, being November 27th, Sunday. It's 5 in the afternoon here where I am. Nothing to do for the rest of the day, except for probably eat dinner. But I believe that's about it. That's all I have planned for the rest of the day, so I'm going to do a lot of casting. Hopefully I can get through the last few casts that I have to finish up. Get that done, get those out to you guys, and it'll be pretty sweet. Maybe I'll actually have some time to play some StarCraft of my own, which I haven't done in about a week thanks to the Thanksgiving break. But we have this nice game between HorseBallz and iRRu on the map of, I believe it is Antiga Shipyard. The players spawning across from each other, the blue Protoss and the red Terran. Looks like neither, or at least our Protoss players, not going for forge fast expand type of play by blocking up this ramp with cannons and the like, as he put his pylon up here and he is making a gateway. Got a barracks coming down for the Terran player. Both these scouts are going to end up passing... Oh, nope, they go around each other. They do not pass through each other. Sometimes they pass through each other, but not this time. They go around each other. So it looks like the blue player will scout out the red player just a few seconds before the red player learns the location of our blue Protoss player. And the blue Protoss player does in fact get inside the base. I'm going to see an orbital command being made probably once the barracks finishes. There it goes. Got this pylon here to check the smoky area. Yeah, cybernetics score right after the gateway. No units yet for either player other than their working units. Though Marine is just about to finish and will probably be used to kill this probe very quickly. No more probe inside the base. And the wall off is complete for our Terran player. Now the Zealot is going to be rallied immediately all the way across the map. No? He's decided to rally to the SCV, probably a better choice. I feel like by the time, or it's a Stalker now, Stalker being produced, there is no Zealot out, no Zealots will be made immediately for our blue Protoss, chronoing out that Stalker and the warp gated research, taking his second gas. Stalker's gonna pop out and make short work of this SCV. And there he goes. Another barracks being constructed on the low ground for the Terran player. Got a Marauder coming out, which Marauders are pretty solid to have against any Stalkers at all, which is usually what a lot of Protoss players make. Stalkers are pretty good units. Not going to rely on Warp Gate, being chronoed just past the halfway mark. So we have, looks like, third barracks just about to finish up for the Terran player. He's moving out with his Marauder to take the Watchtower all by himself. It's going to be a Marauder versus two Stalkers. Let's see how this works out. Looks like with some micro this. There we go. Oh, but the Marauder is slower than the Stalker, so he's probably not going to get away. He will in fact die. With Automaton 2000 witnessing that death. The death of Marauder. And the Stalker. Oh, nope, the Stalkers might try and engage. Might try and snipe this Marine. Gets the Marine. Can probably get the Marauder as well. Though there are a couple more units about to pop out. A couple more Marauders about to spawn. There's another Marine. Stalker's doing quite a lot of damage. A third Stalker coming out. Some micro to put the weak Stalker in the back. This Stalker does die, which is rather unfortunate. A third, or I guess this would be the fourth Stalker since the third one died. But some target firing going down from our Terran player, and will this Stalker get away with his 3 health? It looks like he does. He will, in fact, probably make it home. This probe is gonna chill here. Probably gonna make a pylon. We are how many gates do we have? We're up to 3 gateways for the Protoss player. Quite a few stalkers out. We have 5 stalkers on the map. 3 of them in the middle. These 2 up here probably gonna join. Got a bunker being thrown down, which is pretty much going to completely deny any other poking and prodding that the Protoss player wishes to do. If he sticks these Marauders in the bunker, even the Marines in the bunker, the Stalkers are going to be pretty much locked out of the base. And more units are on the way. We have 1 more Marine coming out, 2 more Marauders coming out. And the expansion is being constructed. No expansion yet for the Protoss player. It looks like he's gearing up to. He's got his probe in position. The box facility about to finish. Stalkers. Peek up. And decide it's not worth it. Probably looks like they're heading all the way back to home base. And the expansion goes down. Right about when the expansion for Terran it's about to finish. It's going to be done pretty soon. So lots of Marauders being made for the Terran player. A bit of a supply block currently. And he's not actually... Oh, I guess he got some supply from his command center being constructed, but he's definitely going to... There's a supply depot being constructed. Probably going to want to make a few more. He's got quite a few production facilities. 4 barracks, it looks like. No add-ons other than the 2 tech labs getting stim and combat shields. Concussive shell, of course, already researched for the Marauder. Just going to slow down any stalkers when they get hit by the Marauder shells. Got 2 sentries out to force field these ramps, split up the Terran units. Some interesting stalker positions to have multiple angles of engagement. Got this stalker out here to see any units on the way. This pylon will serve a little bit of a scouting purpose. It'll probably show when the Terran army is moving out, as I would suspect the Terran player would move through here, probably would kill this pylon off. We have a Colossus on the way. Extended thermal lance not yet started. It's going to need to save up a bit more for that. Getting some more probes and pylons. Gotta get them probes and pylons as a Protoss player. So far, we have 1 Immortal out. Which is cool. Looks like we're gonna go see a very bio-based army for the Terran player, which is not uncommon. Gonna get a couple more medevacs. He's currently supply block, but he has one depot just finished, another one on the way. But immediately fills all the way back up. Could definitely use some more SCVs to do some mining. He is making SCVs, or he just made 1. Probably keep making them. But maybe he wants to keep that supply open for his units, although he's not. Either player is anywhere near the max out number. Extended thermal lance still not started. He's probably going to want to get that. That does greatly increase the capabilities of Colossi, increasing their range by 3, I believe. And there it goes. There goes that extended thermal lance. Second Colossi did just finish. There he is. Getting more pros. Saturate these bases. Probably going to want to take this 4th gas pretty soon. Gas is pretty essential to having a strong Protoss army. Getting upgrades. And Colossi. Colossi looks very good against bio units. There goes a medevac going to fly all the way around the map and drop somewhere. I'm probably going to try and drop in this base, although he's going to be pretty unsuccessful if this army does not move at all. So we're going to have to see what happens there. Sorry, had a sneeze. Took care of that though. No more sneezing. This medevac about halfway to its destination, and 3 medevacs down here going to attack the main. So we're going to see a 2-pronged assault from the Terran player. Throwing up some more pylons back here. So this medevac is going to serve as a distraction for the rest of the army, while this medevac full of, looks like, quite a few Marauders, actually. Marauders are going to be back here, going to kill off some probes, pylons, kill whatever they can. Did some more Colossi. I believe the Colossi comes at 3 now. This drop does actually get back here, and the Protoss player took a little bit of time to respawn. That's quite a few workers. Meanwhile, we have this drop in the main. We're going to try and take out the robotics bay. However, extended thermal lance was finished, so it's just going to slightly hold the production of Colossi kill off. If he decides to kill it, maybe he won't even decide to kill it. Takes out the robotics facility instead. Doing quite a bit of kills, lots of work. We're going to have a Hellion in the mix to try and get some worker kills. We're going to take out the cybernetic score, which means no more stalkers stimming to do some extra damage, but it looks like Protoss player will clean this up to take quite a bit of damage, but clean it up rather nicely. Those medevacs do get away, however, all the attacking units were killed. This forge does not go down, so this +1 attack will finish pretty soon. I'm not sure where these Colossi... Oh, the Colossi, that's where he sent his units, and obviously the Colossi can climb over cliffs, so they made it there sooner. 3 Zealots were warped in up here, medevacs returning to base, and we still have quite an army at home for the Terran player. We got the Vikings coming out to deal with the Colossi. It'll be rather unfortunate for our Colossus fielding player. He does have to rebuild his tech. He's got to get a cybernetics core before he can get a robotics facility, and then he can get a robotics base. So he's still quite a ways away from remaking this Colossi. He does only have 3 gates. Could use more gateways, especially on 3 bases, or 2 bases. I mean, sorry. Looks like we're going to see an attack. There's down a Guardian Shield. Colossi zapping these tech labs. Should probably be zapping the units instead. However, these Vikings are going to kill this Colossi pretty quickly, especially if they're not in it, or that one particularly wasn't in Guardian Shield. This bunker is going to die. Units, Terran units are dying. However, I think there are just too many Terran units. Are these Colossi dying very quickly from these Vikings? No more Colossi remain, no more splash damage. There are more Terran. Well, it's going to be pretty close. These Vikings do land, which are going to clean this up rather nicely. So we're down to 3 Stalkers back at home for the Terran, for the Protoss player, 4 Vikings, 7 Marauders, and a handful of Marines for the Terran player, who might want to move out. He could definitely move out. He's instead going to go for a drop. Opting for some drop play. 15 workers were killed earlier in the attack up here by the Terran player. Not too many workers. He probably killed a repairing SCV on the bunker too, a couple of those. But units killed are pretty close, with the Protoss player having killed more units, which is kind of expected, as Terran units, Marines in particular, they're cheap. They don't cost much, obviously. They don't have too much health, so they'll die quite a bit quicker. So nothing too substantial. Getting some photon cannons. Where'd those go? They got some more gateways. Photon cannon right here and right here to help with the defense. Got the Twilight Council, so we're up to 6 gateways now. Definitely going to help with the excess mineral spending. We've got both these gas geysers mining at their full capacity. I believe he just took that geyser not too long ago. Chrono boosting out a +1 armor upgrade. Nothing from the Twilight Council yet. However, he is getting a Dark Shrine somewhere. Where's that Dark Shrine? Surely he's not getting it here. No. Oh. How silly of me. He's hiding it in the smoke. But a lot of medevacs. That's probably the most of the Terran army. Of course, he's continuing to make units back at home, so... But at the time when these medevacs moved out, that was probably most of his army. He did bring the Vikings as well. However, obviously there was an observer that was seeing all this, so a lot... Ooh! Doesn't get a medevac kill. No units lost there for the Terran player. But a very good defense by the Protoss player, who was able to spot that drop incoming and prevent it. Not sure why he's moving all his Stalkers out of position. Stalkers might want to go somewhere now. Stalkers just letting their Dark Shrine be shot at. There they go. Now they start defending. Looks like these guys are just gonna chill out here as well. I'm not sure what's going on. Do have a handful of DTs going around now. DT's killing off some workers, a DT killing some army units, a stem. Interesting, probably could have made it without a stem. DT's killing some units in there. Killing some mining units. Both the DTs down here did die. But the DTs are going to keep hacking away at these SCVs until they run away. This missile turret is going to be able to detect. He's using his... Oh, there they go. There's a scan, and there are no more DTs in the base now. All these medevacs... Oh, medevacs are now being used to kind of drop in the main base. Stalkers, I'm not sure why he moved the Stalkers back to the front of the base. Blink would definitely help against this drop play. In order to make these Stalkers more maneuverable, obviously. Although there are a lot of Marauders, which are very good against Stalkers, but there are a lot of Stalkers too, and these two DTs. I don't believe our team player knows these DTs are there, so that's a lot of free damage for the Protoss player. DTs are very strong, very powerful. And this drop gets cleaned up pretty quickly for our Protoss player. Not very much damage done there at all. Workers killed, pretty even. Units killed, pretty even. With our Protoss player leading in both regards. Our actually units killed are not at all close. Our Protoss player has about twice as many unit kills. No medevacs. Oh, the medevacs actually are retreating. That's right, they were dropping. So medevacs to heal all these stemmed units. This orbital command is going to float over to the third base. Lots of energy stored up on these orbital commands. Not using them for mules. He might be kind of nervous about the possibility of DTs, and instead, and has that energy saved up for the scans. And then our Protoss army is moving out. There are a couple DTs, however, the DTs aren't going to do any extra damage with because of the detection for our Terran player. We got a couple missile turrets just showing around. A stem, a little early stem. Well, this DT is doing some pretty close. There is no detection. The nearest detection is right here, but it's not doing anything. So there are a lot of kills going for DTs. They're now in range of these missile turrets, so they're going to die pretty quickly. But those DTs did do a lot of damage before the Terran player retreated to the safety of the missile turret. However, this bunker is doing a lot of damage to the Protoss units. Gonna retreat. Got some Stalker reinforcements. Stalkers can probably take out all these units, but the Stalkers need 1-1, and the Marines and Marauders are also 1-1. The Stalkers are moving up to the expansion. Tanks, Marauders, and Marines all being moved for the Terran player. Protoss player should... he's taking out quite a few US things. He's probably going to want to focus on these Marines and Marauders now. They're definitely... I think this Marine and Marauder count is too high. And, oh, there are some reinforced Stalkers though, and although it is still too high, I believe our Terran player is going to clean this up, just focusing down the medevacs. But yeah, our Terran player does clean that up. Our Protoss player might want to take an expansion. I mean, he does not have an army at all. He's back down to these 4 Stalkers. Got a couple of sentries with that gas. Our Terran player has a lot of gas, hardly any minerals though. Lacking in the mineral department. He's definitely gonna have to get that up. This base is pretty much mined out for the Protoss player. All these probes are down here now. Adding on 2 Stargates, an interesting choice. Personally, I would have thought an expansion would have been better, especially like his bases are getting... These bases aren't getting too low. Or this base at least isn't getting too low, but he is on 1 base mining now. Which is never good when you're going up against an opponent who is mining from 2 bases. All these idle SCVs are just chilling. That Stalker does die, unfortunately. Even Stargate units won't be too terribly effective as the Marine count is pretty high. Looks like another drop is going to go. Got 4 Marauders this time again. Seems our HorseBallz friend enjoys dropping Marauders. 1 Marauder is pretty disappointing. He gets left behind. He's going to keep following this medevac as long as he can. Maybe that'll end up in a free kill for our Protoss player if HorseBallz does not notice the straggling Marauder. So not much. Our Protoss player is pretty low on money at this point. The income tab shows the Terran players mining about twice as many minerals as the Terran player, as the Protoss player, I mean, my bad. Another starport for the Terran player is being constructed to get more medevacs, get more Vikings. Maybe he's going to throw on a tech log, get a Raven or 2. That mobile detection will help. They'll save his scans. He can use it for mules against those DTs, although I'm not sure. The Dark Shrine was destroyed, so that's not too much of a threat anymore. These guys still just chilling here. Offensive, yeah, I'd say it's an offensive sensor tower was thrown down to help detect, quite a few sensor towers going down actually. Any sensor towers over here? So our Terran player is going to know when the Protoss player pretty much leaves their base. This line does extend to basically if the Protoss leaves their base and goes anywhere, I guess could like blink down here, but he does not have blink, I believe. A lot of that tech was killed. The what was it? The Dark Shrine, the Twilight Council, those were killed with drops. That Marauder does get retrieved by all his buddies. His teammates come back and save him from the suicide that would be walking all the way around into Protoss base trying to catch up to his medevac. Got a couple of Phoenixes, which would be able to kill this medevac. Unless these Phoenixes decide to chill here with their Void Ray and another Void Ray being chronoed out. This army is moving out for the Terran player. This drop is moving out for the Terran player as well. It's a small army, especially considering he has all these units back here. And I wonder why he decided to opt to send smaller brigade of units. There's a lot of stalkers and sentries. Force field's not optimal. The force field's more prevented the Terran units from coming up. We have a drop that takes out the pylon powering all of these gateways, so no weapons will be allowed for a while, but otherwise these Marauders aren't going to do too much damage. Tried to take out a Stargate, didn't happen. And so yeah, there's no power to these gateways. Probably he's going to want to throw down a couple of pylons, you'd think. Maybe he hasn't noticed. Maybe he's decided, screw it, I'm going straight up Stargate. Which is not really a good plan. So he's definitely going to want to throw down some pylons. That Artosis pylon too kind of hurt him. I don't know. Probably wasn't an Artosis pylon. Might have had 2, and the Marauders just killed them way too quick. There's that expansion going down, but a third base going down at 31 minutes is not the best situation you want to be in. As a Protoss player, you definitely want to get that much sooner. A lot of probes being transferred. It's still going to be a while before this Nexus is up. And our Terran player has about twice the supply of our Protoss player. Things are looking pretty bleak for the Protoss player. Terran's ramping up his production. He's taking the gold base, getting a lot more barracks, and going into a pretty heavy macro mode. He's got a Ghost Academy. Are there any ghosts out? There are no ghosts out yet. Maybe that's what gets... Nope, got any more Marines. Marines are a good unit. Getting... there's that Raven, which is going to be able to detect. There are no more DTs, as I've said. The Dark Shrine was killed. Looks like... Oh, and there's another sensor tower. So, Terran player is going to know that there are probes going in and out of that base. All these units are following this medevac. Gonna do another drop. He made only 1 pylon again to power those gateways. A very silly mistake. But it looks like our Terran player is just going to try and kill the gateways instead. Nope, he's now going for the pylon. Hopefully our Protoss player is going to learn that you definitely need to throw down more than 1 pylon to power, especially 6 gateways. That's a lot of production that was lost. But the rest of the Terran army does move out to take out the third base, which they're going to be able to do pretty easily. I'm not sure, both players are only at 1-1 upgrade still, but there are so many units for the Terran player, although he's stimming a lot and he's only got 2 medevacs down to 1 medevac now. But our Terran player does clean this up very easily. These Marauders are even still here hacking these gateways. One's not even doing anything. Probes being sacrificed to the Terran player. Border is going to try and take out these Vikings, but Protoss player says good game, smiley face. Isn't too sad about the loss, which is good. A couple of slip-ups by the Protoss player that could have turned the game more in his favor. Could have expanded a bit earlier. Definitely had some more pylons to power gateways. Make sure to definitely always power your essential buildings with more than 1 pylon, especially a lot of essential buildings. Sometimes you just overlook it. It happens. It's unfortunate. Interesting. I don't think the entire middle of the map is covered by sensor towers. Terran was in a pretty dominating position. He was taking his 5th base. This base was pretty much mined out. The gold base definitely helps Terran a lot. Helps him pump out those Marines even faster. He had a lot of barracks over here. No reactors. Were there any? I think there was a reactor on the starport, but even still, no reactors on any of these barracks. He definitely should have gotten some reactors. It would have definitely alleviated this huge bank of minerals that he had. So reactors definitely would have been nice. Had a lot of energy saved up. Could have dumped those into mules as well to have even more money. Maybe he just didn't want to have more money and wanted to save up those mules for whatever reason. So yeah, remember to expand, especially in a game that's going to go pretty long. A 33-minute game, you're definitely going to need to expand more than once. He did get that 3rd expansion up. However, it was a bit too late. Our Terran player had already had up his 3rd base for quite a while and was benefiting from that greatly. Once again, 18 supply to 164, so yeah, kind of unfortunate for the Protoss player, but you can't win them all. Hopefully you took a few lessons from this game, such as powering all its gateways with more than 1 pylon. No Artosis pylons. I've mentioned that quite a bit. Alright, so this was a game sent in to me by a Reddit user. It was actually sent in to me by the Protoss player. He had wanted me to cast this game where he lost. He had definitely a couple areas for improvement, and I'm sure he will work on that. If you'd like for me to cast a game of you winning or losing, maybe a tie. Casting a tie game would be pretty interesting, not gonna lie. I'd really like that, actually. Send me an email with your replay file attached to my email, which is cookiekingsc@gmail.com. It is in the description, so you can type it in from there. So send me an email with your replay. I will cast it as soon as I can, going through casts as quickly as I can in the order that I get them. So remember to subscribe. I'm going to quit my rambling, as the game did end quite a while ago. Probably not even listening to this anymore. So my name is Cookie King SC, or subscribe to my channel. Watch all my videos. Give me any feedback that you have. I want to become as good of a caster as I can. And have a great day or night or afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. Peace out, and see you guys later.